expected.
Let me guess. 1 year out of the academy, 0 combat experience, little punk thinks the shit don't stink. Well, just to let you know,
The shit does stink.
Stinks like shit.
If you'll just give me a shot.
Give this your shot.
yeah, if you'll excuse me, it's time to round up a real team.
Yeah, I'm totally playing Overwatch right now.
Welcome to the J2C show. As you heard JT over there, he's getting ready to get into a massive game of Overwatch. That's kind of his MO here. Curran Holman here. We're back. It's been a while. I finally made it back. Had a little vacation time and a little time cleared up.
Back. Damn it, I lost that bet.
Yeah, I know. What was your bet?
Nothing. We were hoping that you get.
Seattle's a long ways away.
It is. It is a long ways away, and I almost had no breaks till I got.
Shame about that. J2C, I thought you snipped it all the way.
Yeah,
I almost got it.
I had to cash out some real dough to Les Schwab's to get those fixed, so it made the trip a little more interesting. It was like going to Seattle on a trip for like a week on college status, just packing ramen and trying to eat as cheap as you can, hitting McDonald's almost every other meal.
But honestly, I do not like McDonald's.
I don't.
The breakfast is okay, and then the drinks are okay, but everything else is just meh. No.
It really, I'm to that point where my stomach's getting picky. And fast food.
You're 20. You're what? 24, 25.
I know. And fast food can tear me up.
McDonald's is only good for when it's breakfast time, where you're hungover and it's breakfast time.
That's the best. That's kind of the cure. Anything greasy and fake, it does the job.
Greasy and fake, oh.
Greasy and fake.
Talking about your family reunion there, or? Shots fired.
There we go. I missed that. I'm not gonna lie. I missed that. It's nice and refreshing.
That's a reflection, yes. Fresh taste of asshole tonight. That's what it is.
All right, we're starting.
He's been, He's been holding back for 2 weeks.
I have. I've missed talking shit about you.
Well, we're gonna have a lot of shit talking next Friday when we do our NFL draft here.
Yeah, I may even come up there live.
Are you gonna be up there live?
Maybe.
You should. You should. We're gonna have a couple people in here, so it's gonna be kind of a draft central.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have my little brother. He's gonna be up here for it, and just like you, JT, another big Patriots fan.
Hey, he's a good guy. I like him.
I'm not gonna lie. We have 14 teams in here.
And the best team name is?
I'm not going to go with that.
Say it.
Is it Yo Belichick yourself?
Yeah.
You better Belichick yourself?
You better Belichick yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
Uh-huh.
Before your Atlanta Hawks, before your Falcons yourself.
I saw that video. I mean, that was, I'm happy I didn't put any money on that game.
I did.
Did you? How much did you put?
Yeah, I won $2.
$2.
Of course.
That's a bet with 2 different people.
That is confidence right there.
Well, I'm balling on a budget, so.
Or is that what you just found in your truck?
It's really what I found in my truck. I found it on my bed. I'm like, $1. That's all I can afford. Like,
that's a good bet, though.
You got to be able to make your bet in case you lose. I don't.
Well, if you double your money, that's a good bet anyways. Doesn't matter if it's $2 or $100.
I had Taco Bell.
Fortunately, he couldn't double his money at the casino.
I don't want to talk about that. We don't talk about that. Way,
I want to hear about.
We got the days off. We're going to Pietros. You know what I mean?
Well, if you come down here, you come down here to Wall Wall next week. We'll take a trip to Wild Horse.
No, fuck Wild Horse. I'm not going that.
Oh man.
Well, I'm not supposed to use that word, am I?
Yeah.
What word? What word?
Retarded.
As a Black Eyed Peas can get away with it, you can get away with it. Because remember, that was the original song. Let's get retarded in here, not let's get it started in here.
Let's get it Curran in here. Let's get it Curran in here.
There's my new theme song.
No, retarded, not current, retarded.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Man, is there a firing squad up in here?
Oh, so
oh wait, no, it's just Carolina.
Whoa, ayo, bow, 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 bow.
Actually, wait, no, they're white. They don't shoot the protesters.
Wow.
My
All right.
God.
Bada boom, bada bang.
How
I'm
much?
back, baby? J2C show. Hashtag fuck it.
Pretty much right there. Jesus Christ. So
I mean, yeah.
so yes, we do.
J2C.
J2C. Jay's really taking it right now. He's on a roll. So again, tomorrow, or not tomorrow night. Fuck, that would be a long draft. Next Friday night, the 25th, 7 p.m. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be drafting live. 14 teams, so it's gonna be interesting.
What day is it?
The 25th.
Friday.
Friday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. Not tomorrow. Next Friday. Yeah, you
Let
make
me
sure I
talk
can
about
hear
the
you.
eclipse real fast, people.
Okay.
You want to talk about the eclipse?
Wait, here,
fuck all the
wait,
people
wait,
who are coming in.
Wait, are you
do
getting?
you want to talk about the eclipse or the eclipse people?
Both. First off, why is everybody coming to Oregon? It's terrible.
I'm just to be.
First off, if anybody's listening to this, you need to act your worst. So that people don't come back and start decide, hey, Oregon's a nice place to live.
Right?
Wait.
They're-
You guys have lines already piling up down there in Portland?
Yeah, you fucking Primeville.
Jeez.
There's like
It's
a
too-
mile. How
it's
they're already out
almost
of gas down there.
It's 30 mile long wait, and it's like 3 hours to move 30 miles.
Yeah.
No.
At Primeville.
No, thank
Yeah.
you. No, thank you.
And it's not even fucking weekend yet. It's not the weekend yet. Those are the people
No.
who came early.
We still have, what, 4 days?
Yeah.
Is it
It's
next-
It's
Thursday.
on Monday.
Next
That's
Monday is when it
ridiculous.
starts. Yeah, I'm supposed to be able to see it here in Walla Walla, and
Yeah. I have a 99% totality here at my home, so I'm just like, I'll just go in the backyard and watch it.
I'm honestly just gonna see it here at work. I'm just gonna open up the window. Ah, there's the eclipse. Boom, done.
All right, the next one that we can go to in California is in like 28 years.
Ooh. You know,
Well, it
if
wasn't
this,
too bad because it was 40 in between the last two.
if somehow this show is alive in 28 years, then we should be
It's a
down
movie,
there.
I may just the murderist. Who knows?
we're gonna be down there and live, and we're gonna be with the crowd, and we're gonna get interviews. We're gonna talk to people and see how batshit crazy they are about this fucking eclipse, because it
Well, it's
really.
in California, so who the fuck knows?
Oh man. Well, the only thing we got to do is pack a lot of water.
And maybe a sledgehammer to get through that wall.
Oh man, JT.
Because in 28 years, who knows?
You never know. Yeah, that's very true. We might be in different countries. Shit. All right, so yeah, that
What's
took a
this topic
turn.
about? What's this week about? Oh, we just talking shit. I like it.
Well, that's that's how it usually ends up. We have some kind of agenda, but then shit just goes haywire very quick.
Did I just say how glad I am that we're not doing the top fives anymore?
Oh yeah, that
Because, I mean, it's okay for like every now and then, like once a month top five, not bad.
we'll have something. Yeah, we'll have at least one coming up.
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
special
every once in
occasion.
a while, it's not bad. You know, it's good. But every one is terrible. I apologize, audience. That was Curran planning there.
We're getting the ball rolling here. We're starting to get some kind of a.
Are we?
Well, not really, but
No. Okay, here's what we need to do. People who are listening right now, go ahead and mail $1 to Curran's address at, please state address here.
is
So
that
that
where I was supposed
$1 will be used to purchase advertising.
to- There
So
we
you
go.
help us out. Crowdfunding. Okay, so go ahead and just enter your
You can
address there.
invest into the show.
Yes, you can be like you don't want to be that jackass who passed on Microsoft, you know? Like
I think
we're the
we're.
next Microsoft, even though we're
You know,
not
I think we're more
tech
Apple than Microsoft, but
oh fuck Apple.
well, good because I use Microsoft. Okay, so
Honestly, like I don't want it. Steve Jobs gave some employee stitches because he threw a fucking iPhone at him, or it was an iPod. Okay. Like I mean, actually, oh god, I'm Steve Jobs.
wait, was that on the movie or was that an actual? Was that an actual story?
Yeah, that's true. That's a fun fact there.
Well,
But
there
yeah,
you go.
He gave some dude a stitch because I think it at the time was actually a iPod, maybe an iPhone, who knows? But he was mad at him, so he threw it, hit him in the head, gave him stitches. And now out of that story, I don't want to be Steve Jobs, but I'm realizing I'm probably the one to throw it at Curran, so I'm going to be Steve Jobs.
There you go. I'm gonna be wearing a helmet every time I see you. Then I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
be aware.
Don't you normally wear a helmet?
Yeah. Aren't you required by law?
Anyways,
You got to get a special certificate saying you reproduce.
oh, okay. So we were talking about fast food earlier,
You just
and
gotta cut all this shit from the show.
yeah, I have some stuff prepared here. This one I think you're gonna find interesting. Have you guys ever eaten at the restaurant chain Chick-Fil-A?
I have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that fucking the Falcons. Another dumb move they did. Put it in there. What day are Chick-fil-A closed?
Sundays.
Sunday. What day do the Falcons lose?
Well, you know,
Sunday.
they have one day of the season where their Chick-fil-A is going to be open in that stadium. They have like one Thursday. I can't remember if it's a Monday night or a Thursday night, but they have like one game where that's going to be open.
They do rent out the stadium though to other places, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Concerts and stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean, they share it with I believe their their soccer team.
Oh, who the fuck's by
Hey,
soccer?
Hey, I was up there on Saturday, and they had a Sounders game before the Mariners game, and that Sounders game was fucking packed. Like, Seattle loves their Sounders soccer.
Would you say it's Mexipacked?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
All right.
Okay, so moving on, I got a story here. So we were talking about Chick-fil-A, and there's been a reporting that this woman is suing Chick-fil-A because a rodent was baked into her bun. She had a sandwich, and the bottom bun of the sandwich, there was a rat or a mouse. I can't really tell from the picture, but it was kind of crisped into the bun. And
that's just extra protein right there.
yeah, I guess. This was, her name is, wow, what a last name. Ellen Manfaluti of Northampton. What? Yeah, Manfaluti, or I'm probably butchering that, but Northampton is suing Chick-fil-A in Middletown for $50,000 for the extreme nausea and anxiety she suffered after she discovered extra protein back in November.
That's why I said extra protein.
So she's 46 years old. She started eating the sandwich in a conference room when she felt something funny at the bottom of the bun. She turned it over, and she thought it was just they burned it. So she thought it was just a burnt mark, and that they burned a bun. And then she started. Then she felt it, and she could feel the tail and the whiskers.
Oh god!
Before realizing it was, there's a picture of it right here, and it is, it looks like it's a small mouse, and it's burnt to a fucking crisp inside the bottom of the bun. Oh my god!
That's nasty. Can I just say, while we're on the subject of Chick-fil-A, fuck them. Like, they have terrible placement. There's one over here where it's right by our Red Robin, and it is not. There should not be a drive-through there. Like, it is a terrible drive-through spot, and it's all backed up, always congested.
Well, I mean, it's bad enough that people walk out with clipboards to take the order of the people waiting in the drive-thru line.
Oh man!
Every day.
How is it so? I mean, is it the prices? Is it some kind of like?
Well, first off, it's bomb ass chicken. I will say
it's good.
Okay,
it's good, but like, I don't know. It's just so upsetting because it's like. Terrible location. Terrible fucking planning.
So how long is like a typical wait? Like if you're going through the drive-through, how long is a typical
at least
wait?
10 to 15 minutes.
Oh man, for fast food?
Yeah. Well, no, you can't really say fast food if it's 10 to 15 minutes wait.
No, exactly. That's
moderately.
If you're gonna spend a quarter, let's say you take an hour lunch, and you're gonna spend almost like less than a quarter of your time in line waiting for your food.
And that's on a good day.
Yeah. Man.
Like if there's no one in there, it's probably only about 5 minutes, which isn't that bad. But that's if there's no one in line.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the waits are pretty good on Sundays.
Yeah. There's only 3 stoners in line on Sunday. Thinking it's not Sunday.
I wonder who those are.
Knocking on the window. Chick-Fil-A, open up.
So
Right over. Bring that good ass chicken right over.
So
I have to credit Ralphie May on that. Fucking love Ralphie May.
I'm not gonna lie, I watched his Netflix stuff. That was pretty good.
It's so good. His stuff about the the word that I cannot say is great too, because it makes sense. Like, I think that is a reason why.
It's very true.
It's good food. I love these.
It is one of those stand-ups that you gotta check out again on Netflix. I don't know. I mean, Netflix has been changing a lot the last couple of months, taking stuff on and off.
Fun fact. Sorry to interrupt again.
No, go for it.
Netflix may be losing all the Disney stuff.
I heard that
Disney is could be opening
not only
up their own viewing thing.
So yeah, you're losing Disney, you're losing Marvel.
Everything. It's bad. ABC, all that shit.
So if they take Marvel, is that going to take those Marvel Netflix like the Defenders?
I think so.
I
think so.
Because that was the big draw on Netflix, is people wanted to watch those shows with Daredevil, Jessica Jones. Not so much Iron Fist. I mean, he was okay.
I couldn't get into that one.
It was interesting. It was kind of out there. Luke Cage was a good one.
Yeah, I got McCree. Yes, I got the skin for McCree. I mean, sorry, what?
So you take those. That's a huge draw. I mean, other than that, Netflix, your big draws are like Orange is the New Black, and then Stranger Things. That's another big series. But again, this doesn't happen till 2018, 2019.
Yeah, 2018. I thought late 2018.
2018, I believe they're going to start up their own ESPN stream. So they're starting to do their own ESPN live stream channel instead of the cable, because cable has been going down the shitter, especially for ESPN. That's one of one of Disney's like lowest money making branches.
Yeah. Did you guys get to watch the stream of ESPN 8, the Ocho?
Oh my God, I love that.
That was awesome.
I wish they would make that into an actual channel. Especially over ESPNU. Fuck that. ESPN the Ocho. I was watching the Moxie games. Oh my God. I love the ping pong head, the soccer ping pong, or the head ping pong, whatever you want to call it. The pool shots. That I love so much. I'm a big fan of pool, and so the trick shots, and they're just like popping the ball in the air, catching it in the cup, throwing it in the ball, and then doing all these like weird shit. It's so ridiculous. They had so many weird sports, but I think they're actually trying to get a live broadcast for the Moxie games and make that like an actual event somewhere. Because you have, what was it, the one of the main hosts, or one of like this. So you had I believe it was Penn from Penn and Teller. He was the main host. He was kind of the guy running the show, but his go-to guy was the world champion in rock paper scissors.
Heck yeah.
So, and that was actually one of their sports. I didn't get to watch it.
I would watch competitive rock paper scissors.
I'd watch that over fucking soccer or baseball.
Ouch.
Oh, talking about baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy Kenny Middleton from Milwaukee High School. He got his first save the other day.
For which team?
For the Angels.
Surprised he didn't do it against the Mariners.
Very
surprised.
I mean, that my dad had to tell me what a save is, and I found this out, guys. Fun fact: a save is when they put a pitcher in the game and he doesn't fuck up.
Pretty much. I think there's a limit, like how close the game has to be.
I think it's like within 3.
Yeah, I think that's right, about 3 runs. Because there's some guys they just let them roll.
Doesn't fuck up, and then boom.
Well, we see.
You gotta save.
Well, we've seen. I saw a lot of blown saves in the last week. I went down to
And sorry, I just keep interrupting.
Man,
More news from Milwaukee,
it's-
another Milwaukee High School alumni. Kendrick Bourne, he went undrafted into the 49ers,
okay.
and he had a touchdown and a 2-point conversion,
You know,
and 88 for only 88 yards too.
so what position?
Preseason, wide receiver.
Wide receiver. You know, if there's any place you can walk on and play in the NFL, it's San Francisco right now. It really is.
Honestly, they'll be looking for the quarterback.
I mean, they're almost close to pulling a Vince Papale and doing the invincible tryouts there in San
I would
Francisco.
go down. Honestly, I'd go take my fat ass down there and be like, "Hey, put me on the defensive
Wait.
line. I'll just sit there."
Wait, okay. Have you guys seen the movie Invincible, right?
Yeah.
Would you be the guy that went down in the cape and started singing the fight song, like in the locker room? Would that be you?
I'd be the one who goes down there, like 200 pounds overweight for that position, and
So
be like,
pretty
"Hey."
much you'd Vince Wilfork it.
Yeah, I've been Warfork that shit.
Okay, his retirement video was
the
fucking
best
phenomenal.
ever. I fucking love Vince.
The dance, the tailgate, everything, that was
And they signed him for a day too.
Oh, I would do that instantly.
Amazing.
Like the tailgate at New England, that's gonna be
I would be. Oh my god.
that's gonna be a sold out event.
Honestly.
And he sponsored, was it Kingsford or
Yeah, Kingsford. Yeah.
I mean
Great advertisement, and he's in just overalls too. He's just.
he's hanging. You see him and he hangs up the cleats and he fucks up the fucking spatula and he just starts dancing to the old music, and I mean it was just phenomenal. That was probably the best retirement video or retirement anything that I've seen in a long time.
Honestly, yeah. If anybody's gonna go out in style, it's gonna be Vince. Motherfucking Wilfork.
oh, yeah.
He's the reason why I started liking the Patriots in the first place. Because he played my position that I played. I'm like, you know what? I like this guy. And then I'm like, oh, I like this team.
He was so key to that defense for a long time.
Honestly, this year the defense is going to be a little bit hurting because they got rid of a few guys who they picked up to win the Super Bowl. Like I think they got rid of Chris Long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be tough this year.
Well, they also
too running back too. I'm a bit worried about the running back situation.
Well,
they drop Blunt like he drops a player on the other team because he punched him in the face.
Well, not on the other team. Sometimes on his own team.
Yeah.
But they also, I mean, they also lost. Oh man, I just lost my thought of mine here. I was thinking about it. Logan Ryan, cornerback, their number 2 guy. He lost him to Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to be the team to watch, or kind of that unsung team that comes
honestly,
out of nowhere.
Good fantasy team with Mariota there.
Oh, well, with him and DeMarco Murray, who I think is going to have a good year, and then you also have Derrick Henry, that 1-2 combo between the guys.
Talking about DeMarco Murray, I want him to go into Patriots territory.
It's Titans. If the Titans, it depends on if they're going to move Henry up and Murray gets to that point where, I mean, any running back, once they hit 30s, they're probably going to be looking, okay, New England's a good option for me. I'm surprised Adrian Peterson, probably just money, was the reason why he didn't go to New England. Because he'd be a good fit for that offense. Well, actually, you know what?
Because all we need is some guy who can run the ball a few times, and then we can get that play action going.
Exactly. He would be good in the system in the fact of he'd be a guy to give the ball off to. He's not going to be the person you throw the ball outside. Because now the NFL has really pushed into the receiving running backs are more important than the actual like downhill runners. Other than Tennessee, who runs the power run, there's not many teams that do that. You might, Dallas. Well, we'll see how they.
For 6 games.
we'll see how that goes if they get the appeal or not. From what I've heard, it'll be tough for them to overturn that. Or, I mean, I just hope that doesn't turn into a whole issue like with Brady, where it's just, well, it kind of has, because this happened a year ago.
Well, see, they gave fucking Brady four games for maybe deflating balls, fucking, and then this guy hit somebody,
domestic violence to his ex-girlfriend.
And they only gave him 6 games. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's
That's like, okay, so a ball is worth more than
Well, the thing is, it's all like alleged. So they're
So was Brady.
that's true. That's true too. I mean, you don't have a video of it like with Ray Rice's case.
Ray Rice was innocent. I'm gonna say that right now. She fucking lunged. He was in fear for his life. You go watch that video, Ray Rice. She lunged.
He
was
was
defending.
Yeah, but it's hard to show that when you're 150 pounds
Oh, just because his
heavier.
size? Oh, okay. Are we playing sizes now?
Well, it's
This is America.
I don't really want to touch that issue, but
Especially if
it's
has been retired for
Yeah.
a while now.
yeah, pretty much. But it's a different
Just
issue.
because he looks intimidating doesn't mean he is.
Well, when he cocks back and pops you in the jaw, it doesn't matter.
Well, 'cause she was about to do it to him. I'm a feminist at heart. I believe in equality. If someone's going to hit somebody, they should be prepared to be hit back. No matter what race, gender, or ethnicity.
Well, that's
Hit
one
a
way.
bitch, get hit back.
That's one way to think about it. But
I'm a feminist at heart, ladies.
speaking about Ray Rice, I haven't heard if he's found a place
He's
to.
done. I think he's done.
Is he done? I
think so.
I haven't
He's
seen
been
him.
done. It's been like
It's-
fucking 4 years now.
It's been a couple. I mean, he was on the practice team. I'm actually gonna check this up because I want to know. I have not heard. Yeah, JC's over there. Is like
I'm just listening by now. This
Over there
is
playing Overwatch.
just entertaining.
yeah.
for
Are
me.
you playing Overwatch? Are you getting the game started? And JT's
Me? No.
is JT
Okay, has been
sending you a
online.
bunch of invites and stuff? He's like, I'm playing right now. Let's play.
This is what we do. This is what, fuck, I can go on Twitch and live stream this.
Do you?
I could, but it would make me lag insanely.
So I want to check on this because I have not seen anything. 'Cause I know that he got reinstated. Like he was.
Oh, did he?
He was able.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know he got reinstated.
Well, I thought he did. I think he had a year ban.
I thought he had a couple there.
Let's see, suspensions.
But the NFL doesn't really care about social issues as long as you can.
And well, you had also had
kill,
the other
you can
case.
kill somebody, they let you back in.
There was the other case where Hope Solo,
Oh, I like her.
and she was domestic abuse for beating up her boyfriend.
See, equality, ladies, equality.
Let's see, Rice 30. It's been 3 years.
He is, yeah. Been a minute.
Since
Since D-Day.
since the elevator, and it looks like it is unlikely. Yeah, I think he's done. I
When
think
you gotta take 3 years off, that hurts, especially when you're older.
yeah, because he did that in 27. Now at 30, it's been a while since he's played, and yeah, but I think he's doing a lot of charity work. I think that's where he's trying to kind of rebuild himself, which is good.
Self-defense classes.
I don't think self-defense is the issue.
No, I just I have him teach self-defense.
Okay, so while we're on
Who's
top,
charity?
while we're on the topic of the NFL, why don't we kind of look? Because I imagine you guys, I hope you guys done a little research on who you're thinking about drafting up in
Yeah, I'm
this
not
one.
giving that shit away, bro.
Well, I'm not saying what's your strategy or anything like that. But
All Patriot players.
yeah, exactly. I wouldn't doubt it, and probably for JC, he'd try to go all Raiders.
Me?
Yeah, are
Oh,
there?
he's not a Raiders fan.
No, I'm.
Are you keeping it?
I'm half Patriots, half Seahawks.
Okay. Ooh.
It's a weird fucking mix, so I can't talk shit because I'm a Patriots Raiders
Well,
fan.
I that's the whole point of this draft, and especially at 14 teams, which is a lot. I'm usually used to playing like maybe 10, 12 is a lot for me, because you get to the
Yeah.
point.
4-man league.
Four-man league would mean. Oh, I got Odell Beckham Jr. I got Julio Jones in the 6th round. I mean, that would be stupid.
I had Julio Jones last year, and Julio Jones did me good.
Fucking yeah, he did. I got screwed up the bunhole on my draft. I had Gurley.
Good.
Gurley was my first pick. I think I still got second, but that's because I did not have. I maybe had 1 or 2 starters by the time the season ended. I had to go pick guys from the free agency that just came out of nowhere. All these like undrafted rookies. I had to really just sift through those and pick guys that were hot for a couple weeks, and then they dropped off. One guy that did super well for me for the first 4 weeks was D'Angelo Williams before Le'Veon Bell came back, because he was just a fucking monster. I had him and LeGarrette Blount for like the first 6 weeks before I got rid of Williams, because Le'Veon Bell came in, and Williams, he went from 27 points a game to like 2. So that tells you how much they used him. And then I traded LeGarrette Blount, and I can't remember because I had Sammy Watkins too. My first pick was Gurley. He had like 1 game over 10 points because Los Angeles was dog shit. Then Sammy Watkins played 1 game, and then he got hurt the whole season. And other than my quarterback situation, where I had Derek Carr and Matt Ryan, that was about as solid as a position I could have, and everything else was hit and miss. Nobody consistent.
Yeah, I think last year for me, I ran into a lot of injuries. Because I think Julio Jones got injured for a couple weeks last year.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember who all I had, but I remember I was running into a lot of issues of.
Well, I had Brandon Cooks. I took him high thinking, okay, New Orleans are going to start using him more, getting him in the... So I was really high on Brandon Cooks, thinking, I think I picked him like 5th round or something like that. I needed a 2 receiver, and he did okay. He had a decent season, but it seemed like every time I benched him, he went off. It was stupid. Like, I put him in, he'd get me 8 points. That's not bad. I want all my players to at least get me double digits. And then I put him on the bench, and he goes for like 30 or something like that.
That's always the case.
Oh.
There's always been somebody, and they go off. Fucking, my brother had Tom Brady on the bench because he wasn't doing anything 1 year. Strange, I don't know why. Goes off for... No, it wasn't Tom Brady, my bad. Peyton Manning.
Oh,
Peyton Manning.
oh, fuck.
Yeah, because Peyton Manning wasn't doing anything. He benched him, and then he had like a 40-point game.
Oh, my goodness. Like, I remember when I picked up Peyton Manning right when he went to Denver, and I picked him up in like the 7th round, and that's when he just went. He had like Wes Welker and all those guys, and just went fucking crazy.
I miss Wes Welker.
Oh,
Is he playing anywhere?
No. I think he had too many concussions, and he tried out for the Rams, I believe, last year.
Oh, really? Patriots have Mini Gronkowski.
Oh my goodness, that Patriot team this year, it's gonna be.
I think they're just gonna have him on the practice squad. He's a fullback.
Oh, they have. Is it Chris, or is it the younger?
Oh, I don't know who. I can't remember who.
So I know Chris Gronkowski was the fullback, but he's older than Gronk. He's a little bit shorter.
A younger one now too. A younger one's maybe a fullback.
Who's gonna be?
Honestly, you could put the Gronkowski people anywhere and they could play. They're like JJ Watt.
You know who's gonna be is gonna be a sick player to have? TJ Watt. TJ Watt. Holy crap! At middle linebacker, put him. He's in that linebacker core with Clay Matthews.
Are we doing linebackers?
I don't know. I can set it up, but
Are we doing kickers? Or how many people are we doing? Because I like it where we have. That's how I run my family league. That I have 2 quarterbacks, a flex option, and like 2 options, with like they can be like any player, and then another like mini option, and then like the regular thing.
So are you
sometimes a defensive player?
So okay, so you're running, because I did that one time and it got to the point where it's like you could play your starting quarterback, a backup quarterback, 3 defensive players, a defense,
No, I just have. We're like I run 3 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, like 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex, and a kicker, and a defensive player.
I haven't done that. Like,
Works pretty good in a 4-man league, though.
in 4-man league, I could see that. In a 14-team league,
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
I want to keep that.
I would like to have an ultimate flex.
That would be nice, because if I had that, I would be running. I mean, Derek
2
Carr
quarterbacks.
and Matt Ryan, for me,
Hey,
would
no,
have been
don't you fucking
money.
Get my Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, man. You
That's
know,
my boy.
I was looking at the projections, and they had him at like 8, just because he's coming off an injury. If he wasn't hurt, he would have
Honestly,
been top 4.
Depending on, but I'm in 3 leagues, and he's going to be top pick in one of my leagues. I don't know which one yet, though.
See, the thing about it is this year there's so many good quarterbacks that unless you want to go Brady and Rodgers, and I mean,
Yeah, if I can't get Brady or like, I get pretty good look with Saints dude. What's his
Drew
face?
Brees. Drew Brees is another good one.
And then, but if I can't get like my first top 3, I think I'm gonna go to my Marcus Mariota and other people like him.
The thing is, there's so many deep quarterbacks. Like Jameis Winston's gonna be good.
He's shit. Did you see him play tonight?
Okay, I'm just
He
thinking.
fucking threw an interception, but they didn't call it an interception because he was being pushed backward and.
Well, then that's why he threw the interception, because he was getting pushed backwards.
Oh, you mean
it all
they
makes
touched
sense
them
now.
during football? Can I just say, football is becoming way too candy ass of a sport. It's football.
I'm
You know,
I'm not
it's
going to
supposed to
disagree
be
with you on that
roughhousing.
one.
What? You disagree?
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna agree with you. I said I'm not gonna
You agree
disagree,
with
so I'm
me,
gonna
for
agree with
once?
you.
That's weird.
I'm agreeing with
I-
you. It's a little different. I mean, it's all again. They're trying to look at the safety of the
It's
players.
football. They should know the risks. If they don't know the risks, they'll take it. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
That,
That's why they're having, fucking $5 million.
However, you look at business investments on this, and if you spend, a good quarterback, and even just an average quarterback, the most expensive quarterback in the next year is going to be Kirk Cousins.
But he's actually coming off a pretty good couple seasons, though.
Oh, I know he's having a couple. I had him as my backup last year before he kind of started tanking it, and I dropped him, picked up Matt Ryan, and then he started doing good. I was like, okay, well, I had got Matt Ryan. I'll take Matty Ice, but he's gonna be the highest. Like his single year salary is like the highest because he took the franchise tag. So I mean, it's something ridiculous, like 20. He is the highest paid quarterback.
Look there. A lot of those quarterbacks, they're not like taking pay cuts for the team, like Tom Brady and stuff. Tom Brady should be top paid quarterback.
Well, there's a difference when
But he's like, no, let's put the team first. I want to win.
Well, there's a difference when that quarterback is 40 and he's already had like 3 or 4 of those 5-year max deal contracts.
Even back then, he would still not take the full amount.
Well, also back then we didn't have those numbers. I mean, back then a good amount would be $100 million for like 5 years. That's a good. I mean, you're looking at 5 years for maybe 80 million, 85. Not these 5 years for like 125 plus 60 million guaranteed, like Russell Wilson. You're not seeing those contracts back 10 years ago or 5 years ago.
True.
Because Kaepernick was the first one to really break that
Yeah,
with
he
the
broke a lot of
49ers. All right. Anyways,
He broke the mold.
because now you're looking even a mediocre quarterback like Andy Dalton, he's okay. He can get you some
Who's he
wins.
playing for now?
He's still playing for Cincinnati.
With the Bengals?
Oh yeah, he's still with the Bengals. He's not. I mean, the Bengals they always seem like a disappointment because they're good, but then they always get to the playoffs
Not
and it's
really good though.
well, yeah. I mean,
I could be biased. My good and like other people's good is skewed because
you're a
Patriot
Patriots fan, and so my good is another ring, and anything below that.
Yeah, right. Though I am a Raiders fan, so good is breaking 500.
That is true.
And hopefully not Derek Carr's leg again.
Don't you put that curse on me.
Yeah, I know. Well, you got okay. So looking at your Raiders team, let's look at their chances here. You've got Derek Carr coming off an injury, and then you add. I mean, you're adding to that defense. You're adding to the defense. You bring in Marshawn Lynch, who, again, Marshawn Lynch coming off what, 2 years of being retired, or a year and a half since he was in Seattle. Roughly. So, right there, seeing him, getting him back in the action. This team is loaded. It really is.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good team.
But, again, the most important position on an NFL team is the quarterback, and keeping Derek Carr healthy is the main objective. Because without Derek Carr, as you saw in their playoff game, they're just not there with Matt Barkley. It's just not good. And we've already seen quarterbacks go down. You look at the situation in Miami of Ryan Tannehill, and he's out, and you have to bring in Jay Cutler, who was signed to be an announcer. So he had
I was just saying that Jay Cutler went from being like the Packers' best player to the Patriots' best player.
There you go. I was thinking, when are these teams going to start calling Tony Romo? And
honestly, Tim Tebow, get him.
Actually, Miami talked to Tim Tebow before Jay Cutler. At least there's some ties there with Tim Tebow in Miami and in that area. But you bring in Jay Cutler, I mean, okay, you're going to see Miami be a run-heavy team. Even though you have Jarvis Landry, one of the best receivers on the side, you have Jay Ajayi, who's just a beast in the backfield. And so you're going to see him carry it, man, probably close to 30 times a game, every game. They've got a decent offensive line. They have a pretty good defense. Quarterback, we'll see where Cutler's at. If he can keep healthy, Cutler's a good quarterback. But
yeah, the thing is, if he keeps healthy, though.
Well, that's the case for a lot of quarterbacks. If they can keep healthy, I mean, Marcus Mariota, you keep him healthy, and that team, I actually made a bet with my brother on Tennessee. I said 11 games. If they win 11 games, that was our margin. We put $20 on it.
That's a lot of games.
It is. Well, I like their chances in their division, and this is why. They play Indianapolis twice. The Colts are not that good. Andrew Luck is good, but they can't protect him. Their defense is not that good. The only team that it kind of worries me in there is Houston, and that all depends on Deshaun Watson. They lost Wilfork, but they gained J.J. Watt because he was all out last year, or for most of the year. And then you also have a lot of defensive speed. You have one of the top defenses, and really, Houston, if they had a quarterback who could do something, they should have beat New England in that playoff game.
You get the fuck out of here.
They should have. Because they were that was the only defense that stopped Tom Brady, and he threw like 4 interceptions, and Brock Osweiler could not get the ball 10 yards into field goal range.
You get the fuck out of here with that.
I'm just saying.
New England, no.
What the game was all Houston until the last quarter, or till like the last drive, really, and that's because Houston got into the goal line. And they kept on having to settle for field goals because Brock Osweiler is not that good of a quarterback.
He's for the Browns now.
He's for the Browns. He's like the third string for the Browns.
Belichick said, okay, fun fact here.
Okay.
The Browns is the Patriots' Siberia. Because a dude was disrespecting Belichick. Like, he's just like, you know what? I'm better than you think I am. I want more money. And Belichick's like, the next day he gets sent to the Browns.
Oh, easily. I mean, what you're talking about? You're talking about the linebacker.
Yeah.
Who's? I mean, he's a hell of a player.
Yeah, and then he just has no problem sending him to the Browns.
Oh no.
Oh, you want more money? Oh, go to the Browns.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The Browns, I think.
Oh shit.
I'm thinking. Oh, man, it's hard to put a year because usually the Browns, they look like they can do something and be good, and then they do something stupid, and then all goes to hell. It's a usual Cleveland trend, as the Cavaliers now. But I like Deshaun Kaiser. I think he can do something. I think he needs time to develop. And that's the only problem with him being in Cleveland is he's probably going to start. Well, I know you got the old quarterback for USC in there that'll probably start for Cleveland. He didn't play bad. But I think Osweiler, they were trying to turn him and just cut his contract they're paying him a stupid amount of money for him not playing at all. It's like what, 14, 15 million a year now, and he's got like 1 or 2 years left on his deal. I mean, it is stupid for playing a third string guy like that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. Let's see. Right now, they are going to start Brock Osweiler
They
in
are?
the preseason game.
Not preseason, though.
26. He's only 26. I mean, he was good in college, but there's a lot of good quarterbacks in college, and then they got into the NFL, and it's not.
Like Winston.
Winston's going to be good. I think that he's got a lot of targets down there in Tampa Bay, which is going to
I
help
think
him.
it's going to be good.
He had a good season. He still had over 4,000 yards, but that's because they threw a lot down in Tampa Bay. Cody Kessler, I think, is a guy that you're going to see make some he might be the day one starter if they don't do Brock Osweiler, which I don't see why. I mean, I could see why in just the fact that he's already played in the NFL and they're going to try to give him a chance, see if he can salvage his career. But I think their eyes are on Deshaun Kaiser, and you don't take a quarterback that early in the draft unless you plan on using him, not in the middle, or maybe not in the first season, but using him as your future. And I saw him playing in that preseason, but that game he made some really tough throws that impressed me. But we'll see how that goes with them. But you picked up Myles Garrett. They had a pretty good draft. You pick up Jabril Peppers, which we'll see if that game style, if he becomes more of a safety and transitions into just a single position player instead of a multi-player or multi-position player like he did in Michigan. They've got a good offensive line. Joe Thomas. You bring in Myles Garrett. You got Jamie Collins and Danny Shelton there on the defense, and Isaiah Crowell is a good running back. And I mean, they've got a good young core, other than Joe Thomas, who's kind of the leader on offensive line. He's been there for a long time, but it's been, really, really one of the top offensive linemen here. I mean, they could be good in, let's say, the next 3 to 5 seasons. They could have over 500. Let's say that's the mark for them, is to be a 500 team.
Yeah, in the next decade, they could be a good team.
They could be a good team. Now, I'm not saying anything as in a playoff contender anytime soon, because, again, they play in the AFC. Well, it'll be interesting. We'll see if I think it really depends on if the potential of Myles Garrett is what it is. Because, there's a lot of high hopes for him, and athletically, he's a freak of nature. To run what? He ran like a 4.5, 4.6 at defensive end.
That's pretty good.
Oh my goodness. And that's the thing you're seeing now with these NFL players and these college players even, is the athleticism is ridiculous compared to, let's say, 10 years ago. Where
Well, yeah, the steroids got better.
a lot better and a lot more undetectable.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably a lot cheaper.
Yeah, you got that shit that Peyton Manning was on.
Oh, didn't he say it was on his wife used it, and it was
Yeah.
his wife used it, but it was under his name, and
Yeah, whatever.
you're just saying that because you're a Brady fan. There's that Brady-Manning rivalry.
Well, you know who wins that rivalry? The one who's still fucking playing in this game.
Well, yeah, I think the ring total also helps in Brady's favor.
I'm kind of a bit of a hypocrite, because I'm, with the an NBA. the ring totals don't really not the same thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get mad when people say, "Oh yeah, it's Jordan because of the rings," but no, but you know, I use the same argument with Tom Brady, but he's still playing.
Okay, we were talking about the Brock Osweiler contract. This is what it is. First 2 years, this is when he signed to Houston, and they gave this contract to Cleveland. It was a $72 million contract with $37 million guaranteed in the first 2 seasons. So he still has one more season where he's making almost about $18.5 million this season, guaranteed.
What I'm going to make in my lifetime, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to make. So breaking it down, Osweiler will make $21 million in 2016 in form of a $12 million signing bonus, $5 million bonus due to this month, and $4 million guarantee on his base salary. His $16 million base salary in 2017 is also fully guaranteed. So Cleveland dished up, but then again, Cleveland had a lot of money they could use because they didn't have really anybody other than the contract they signed with Jamie Collins to stay in there and Joe Thomas. That's about it in Cleveland. So I guess they had money that they could spare, and Houston didn't with J.J. Watt and oh man, I keep on
definitely want to keep J.J. Watt
and Jadeveon Clowney, who they're gonna lock in. I mean, both those end. I mean,
especially since he got a few, you know, he got the practice with Vince Wilfork, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that was great for him.
That defense is going to be stout, and that defense is going to be good. And you've got receivers that are good on there. You got Andre Hopkins, who's going to be he was a beast. Well, not so much last year. He's a great receiver, but he had Brock Osweiler throwing, so that was kind of the issue with him. Fantasy-wise, it dinged him up quite a bit. But with Deshaun Watson, I think maybe not this year. I think he's going to take a year just to kind of get his feet wet in the NFL. But I think he could be a really, really good quarterback for him. And so that's one player I'm definitely watching out for. Let's say if I was in the last rounds of the draft and I needed a backup quarterback, and if he was available, we'll see if someone picks him up and thinking he could do something, which I think he does have a chance to do.
I'm gonna laugh at you when you guys pick him up. Why don't you know that?
Well, it would have to be. It really depends. I don't know my strategy right now. I'm kind of still weighing in.
Is the strategy just to pick like bad players? Because I mean, I don't know.
See, the thing is,
it'll be interesting to see everyone's strategy because I don't think I've never played in a 14-man league. So.
Oh, it's gonna be ridiculous. I mean, I played 12-man, where your backup running backs on your bench are guys that if you got a guy that averaged over 5 points, that's not bad. That's how bad it is. Like, you're gonna be 14, man. You think about this: 14 teams. And man, how many rounds you're looking? There's 9 starters and I think 6 bench, so almost 15 rounds, 15 rounds, somewhere in that area. And with 14 teams, so you times that by 14. I mean, that is a lot of players to go through and to be decisive. So it brings an area. What do you want to go in? Like, what are your main areas? Is it quarterbacks? Is it kind of, you know, get that starting quarterback and then take kind of take some luck on the backup quarterback just in case?
Well, here's my option too. I'm thinking about just drafting all quarterbacks.
Well, that
can.
I don't. No, they don't. They won't allow you once you fill up. Like if you pick, let's say the first 2 rounds quarterbacks, you have to pick something else. They won't.
No.
They won't allow you until you fill up.
Yeah, you can put them on your bench probably, but
oh, there you go. Yeah. I've got on my bench.
And then I have all the power.
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. Maybe.
Well, then you guys will have to come to me
and make some trades.
Yeah.
You know, I would let you keep your quarterbacks, and I would put my bets on some guy that's going to be starting, but like a Cody Kessler or something like that, where, you know what, 10 points for quarterback, that's okay because JT can only play one a week.
Most of the thing is after 14 people have gone in the first round, there's a good chance there's not going to be that many good quarterbacks left.
I don't think anybody's going to be taking a quarterback until round 3.
No, I'm taking a quarterback round 1.
Unless Tom Brady. I mean, I'm
getting Tom Brady. If I get picked number 1, I'm getting Tom Brady.
I'm thinking the way I think is that I rather get position players that are guaranteed at least 10 points, because I think quarterbacks, you get a good quarterback, you can get them at 15 points to 25.
Tom Brady averaged 20 points.
I don't need the superstar quarterback. If I can be solid in every position, then it doesn't fucking matter who I put in at quarterback.
No, because you got to do a solid quarterback. You get those solid 20 points every week, and then you get those players who are like, oh, he's going to have a breakout day.
Well, if I can get...
I know him. I've been watching him.
If I can get those breakout players where they can... I mean, I'm thinking, okay, receiver. If I can get 2 receivers that can put up...
like people on the Steelers. Steelers are going to have a pretty good...
They're going to be...
season this year, I think. And get some
they have Martavius Bryant back. They lost Marcus Wheaton. They bring in Antonio Brown. They still have LaDainian Clowney. They have Ben Roethlisberger.
They need to get one of their running backs too. Good day. It's a good day.
If you get a running back, you make sure you get Bell, because that's about the only one that's going to be productive point-wise.
No, he's too injury prone, honestly.
He is. D'Angelo Williams is a good if he goes out.
He's like drafting Gronkowski. I don't draft Gronkowski. He's never played a full season.
LaDavian Bell, he hasn't played a whole season because he's always suspended usually the first couple of games with some kind of drug issue or not showing up to a test the last 2 seasons. So that's his big knock. Because once he comes in the league, then he's just ridiculous. However, I think the more important fact here is Ben Roethlisberger has to be healthy. Because if Ben Roethlisberger isn't healthy, then that means they're going to tend the ball to LaDavion, or they're going to give it to Bell, and they're going to use him in any position they can. And that's scary, because if you use him like in the Wildcat, let's say, they do that. They use him in the Wildcat because they don't trust their backup quarterback as much, so they want to get the ball in Bell's hands as much as possible. That makes you a one-dimension team. Because if you don't trust, let's say, Landry Jones as their backup quarterback, you don't trust him getting the ball to Antonio Brown, which, if I'm Jones, I better be making sure that Antonio Brown's getting the ball, because that's how the Steelers go. If Antonio Brown can get open, which he usually does, and can get the ball, then that opens up everything. And you have Martavius Bryant, who's coming back, and let's see if he can stay off the weed so he can play. And then that opens up Bell on the running back. But if that doesn't work, then Bell's pretty much a one-man person, and everybody knows they're going to run it with him, so they just start loading the box, and they start, okay, you see him going to the right, we're going to shift everybody to the right. Nowhere to go. His numbers drop. So that's the scary thing with the Steelers, is Ben Roethlisberger's got to be healthy, and right now he's kind of a walk-in injury. Big Ben isn't Big Ben 5 years ago, where he can play with twisted ankles and whatnot.
Solid points.
So I'm always hesitant on Big Ben. He can get me big points, but he can also get hurt and put me in.
I never draft him. I just get the receivers and running backs.
I had Big Ben last year, and I felt like I was doing pretty good with him. So
until he got hurt. See, that's the thing. He can put you up big numbers until he gets hurt, and then that whole offense goes to shit. It really does. They just don't have the backup quarterback, and and we've seen so.
You know who has a great backup quarterbacks?
The New England Patriots with Garoppolo. Well, thing is, Who's going to step up and try to put a big package for him? And is he going to be the guy? What does New England do? I mean, I think it really depends on Brady and how long he thinks he can play.
Well, he said he's not going to be playing when he's 55.
Well, he's not going to be playing when he's 55. He's only 40, so that's 15 years. The thing is with him, Garoppolo's got to understand. He's like, okay, I've been here for what, 4 seasons behind Brady.
Not that long.
He's been there for quite a
Not
few.
4 seasons.
I mean, it's been less. It's more than 2.
Yeah.
It's more than 2. I think it's 3 or 4 seasons. He's kind of right in that Aaron Rodgers, where he probably won't play. He's already what, 26, 27. So if he's, I mean, and teams want him, teams need him, really.
Oh yeah.
So it really depends
But
on.
we got to see who we're going to get.
Well, that's a point too.
He's not Brady's replacement. We're not ready for that yet.
Well, exactly. That's the issue. Because Garoppolo, does he want to stay being a backup for most of his career?
Fuck, I would.
Well, think about it this way. With how there's a lot of teams who have a lot of talent on the receiving core at the offensive line but don't have a quarterback, there's a big opening for Jimmy Garoppolo. And Garoppolo has sat behind Brady for 4 seasons now. He's writing that he can be like that Aaron Rodgers who was behind Brett Favre, and until Brett Favre moved on to a different team, and then Aaron Rodgers took over the Packers and just took off. So Garoppolo, I think, is doing the right thing, where he sat behind Brady, and now he's worked with Brady for a couple of seasons. He's starting getting the ins and outs, and you saw him last year when he came in when Brady was doing the suspension, and he was good, and he was making a lot of big plays. He was consistent. He wasn't turnovering the ball. I mean, he was a smart quarterback, and he was a good quarterback. It really depends on Brady, though. How long does he think he can play? If he says he can play till 50, and that's 10 seasons, then if I'm Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm thinking I need to get out of here because I want to actually be a starter, which I think I can, but I can't do it in New England because Brady's still going to be there. And until Brady has like something go where his game just completely drops off, which we don't know how long that'll be.
Honestly, I think Brady he's going to be there for about 4 more seasons when they win the Super Bowl 4 times in a row.
4 times in a row is a little tricky, but 4 seasons. I think he can.
Happen. Here's what's going to happen. He's going to go this season, win the Super Bowl. Knock on wood. Next season, win the Super Bowl. Knock on wood. Next season, not win the Super Bowl. Knock on wood. Then the season after that, come back, win the Super Bowl, retire.
Yeah, I think he has to end on a Super Bowl win.
Yeah, he's gonna go 2 in a row here now. I'm pretty sure. Knock on wood, and then not win the 3rd one or the 4th one in a row at this point, and then come back and win the next one, and then retire. Mark my words.
Now thinking about it, what's Brady's retirement video gonna be like? Is it gonna be him in like because he's got all that the old cologne, was it Stetson's was one of his sponsors, and like my brother, I think this was one of the main things he got him for, because my aunt bought him a Stetson's cologne and it had Tom Brady on the front and like a lion skin, hanging over top jacket. And he's like the official scent of Tom Brady, and it was Stetson, so it was really cheap and smelled really shitty. But
smells like a winner.
But Tom Brady, that would be like kind of. I mean, I don't know what his retirement would be.
Have you seen his bubble shit there? That was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, should we talk about Uggs at all, or?
His Uggs. There we go.
Cozy.
There we go. He's gonna be in his Uggs. He like drops his cleats and picks up his Uggs and just walks off.
Honestly, he's gonna be. He wants to be an actor when he retires.
He's got it. I mean,
But he's got his friend Mark Wahlberg.
He's got Mark Wahlberg. I mean,
honestly, can you really see him doing anything other than a cameo?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. A bunch of cameos. I
He's a
haven't seen
pretty
a shit
funny
ton of
guy.
cameos.
I'm not gonna lie. Like him when he was doing SNL and even his commercials.
Mm-hmm.
His commercials are hilarious, especially
Yeah, I
when he's
can just
making.
see him being in a shit ton of Mark Wahlberg films. You know.
I think he's gonna be in a lot of cameos of films where it's something like he's either making fun of the NFL or making fun of the Deflategate and all that shit. Where is this?
Or like Kareem Jabbar
Oh,
in
yeah.
that one movie.
Which one? Airplane.
Yeah, Airplane. Yeah. Is it going to be like where he's pretending not to be?
Well,
who
he's kind of
but he
like
really is.
he's I don't know. He's kind of like LeBron James, and LeBron James is starting his acting
Hey,
already.
he wants to be an actor too. Yeah.
So, I mean, he's definitely got the.
Enough. He should be an actor.
He's got
He
enough.
just plays the game though with that. He just plays the game, bro.
So that's the thing is hopefully I just hope he's not one of those guys where he gets injured late in his career and then it fucks up everything. That's the one thing I don't want to see because I mean I might not be a big Patriots fan, but you know Tom Brady, he's got my respect. I mean he is
honestly that's why people don't like him because he's a winner. You know, because he's beaten like all their teams, and that's why they don't like him.
Oh yeah. That's why people don't like the Patriots. They always win, but there's a reason why they win. Belichick is. I mean, I gotta say, Belichick is probably, if not the
they're
greatest.
They're gonna rename the Lombardi the Belichick.
I don't think they're gonna go to that point, but I think
I would.
They might
I
coach
want
of the
Belichick
year
for president. Belichick Popovich.
Well, they're. We'll see.
2020, Belichick Popovich.
Belichick and Popovich going against The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And then there's Trump.
And Trump. That would be an interesting poll.
That would be. I know who I'm voting for.
So again, as it was, a big NFL draft coming up next week. As you can see, we're excited. It's gonna be. I mean, it's football. It's football time. Why not be excited?
Are you ready for some football?
I mean, we've got NFL. We've got.
Time to get some Carrie Underwood up in there. Oh my good, my lady, Carrie Underwood.
Hell yeah.
Woo.
Oh, and it's football time. We're excited for it. We got the draft again. 14 teams. That's a lot of fucking players that's going to be drafted. And it's going to be 45 seconds. So it's not going to be, you can't lollygag. It's going to be pop, pop, pop. You got to have your guys ready to go. And if they take your guy, if they take your person, make sure you have it. Did you guys, I don't know if you guys catched any of the 28-hour ESPN Fantasy Football Marathon.
Nope.
They had that whole thing where a lot of players got pissed off when they did the auction. Like they were selling the players like an actual auction, and they had people. I mean, I can see.
I mean, the NFL is owned by white dudes, and a lot.
See, you know, I can see where people. I can see it both ways. Where
I mean, I know you see it both ways a lot of times. I've heard you swing both ways quite a bit.
Oh, you've been waiting too long to say shit like that. You really have. Yeah. So I can see one side of it where, you know, they didn't intend it to come off the way it did. Or some people, a lot of players were like...
Well, the road to hell was paved with good intentions.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was interesting. It was an interesting take. I like to watch the celebrity draft. That's about the only thing I really paid attention to. They did do one thing where they had a league on there, and they did the punishment live. Oh, that was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. They made a mixed drink, and it had I can't remember all the ingredients, but it was just disgusting. Like they were putting like hot sauce. They were mixing it in with they mixed in horseradish with it. They put in orange juice.
Sounds like my hangover cure.
Pretty much. I mean, it was like 8 or 9 people put one ingredient into this concoction, this drink they made. And the guy, the punishment, because they did a keeper league. So if he didn't do it, he'd lose 2 of his keepers, and he would lose like his first round draft pick. And he had to chug this glass at least to a point where they thought he chugged enough, or pretty much till he barfed. That was the indication.
Bitch, boot and rally.
And there's no boot and rally after that drink. It was a good 20-ounce cup. He probably downed about 5 ounces. At least 3 shots worth of it before it came out, and it was brutal. It was a brutal drink. They probably still have the video online or somewhere of it, but anyways, we're excited for the NFL draft. We're excited for the NFL season. We have the college football season coming up too.
I'm excited for.
I'm big into college football.
Yeah, you guys be talking about that.
I think that'll be something we'll pick up on. We'll next week we do have the draft, so that's the big one. We're excited for. We're getting ready for. That's gonna be next Friday. Oh yeah, it's already here. I mean, the NFL season starts pretty soon too, so want to make sure we get that in there. And at least we had 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks of preseason football to kind of see.
My dad wants to get rid of preseason.
I can see that the NFL wants to do that too.
He had 2 or 3 extra games.
That's what
he'd get rid of the bye week, or just have the bye week be 1 week without football, and then that's when they do the MVP All-Star game. But instead of the All-Star game, it'd be the 2 coaches against each other in Madden.
And they can make their teams on Madden, and then they use that. Okay, I can see that.
That version of Madden.
And as long as they keep the skill challenges, that's about all I watch the Pro Bowl for. I don't really care about the game. I love watching the skill challenges because they just talk shit with each other and they do stupid stuff. So that's one thing I do like. But that's about it. I'm not a big Pro Bowl watcher. I don't think many people are.
Not too good. The only good times in there is when they have
the best stuff.
Yeah, it's cool just to see everyone, the guys come together. And
it's nice to see when the big guys get the touchdowns.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
See, watching it from a TV is not really interesting. But if you actually get to go down there and you get to spend a week down there and see all the stuff, and you get to see all these celebrities and NFL players and all the festivities, that's one thing. That would be a fun week. Like the high schools where they get to go, the teams, they go practice on high school fields and they meet with all the high school players around the area. That's awesome. I think that would be fun to do and kind of experience that. But when you're watching it at home, it's just it's to the point where it's like the NBA All-Star Game where it's no defense, all points, all offense, and then it gets to the point where it's not even worth my time. It really isn't. So I think that's where we're going to end it here. We got a week to get ready for our draft. We'll get our strategies in place as we may see. Hopefully we didn't spill out too much of what we were going to do. Maybe I did a little bit more, but JC, I think that's why he was playing it quiet a little bit.
Sure.
He didn't.
Oh shit, JC, you're still here?
Yeah, exactly. He did. He's all researching. He's taking all the
researching how to play good Overwatch.
No. Researching on which what team I want to set up.
Oh, that's right. He's got the looking at our fantasy football league. He's got Ramrod in there, and speaking about Ramrod, Super Troopers 2.
Super Troopers 2 has finished, and they have released the release date, which is going to be 4/20/18. Which I think.
Hey, are we gonna go?
Hell yeah!
Is it gonna be? Is that their theater date? It's not.
Yeah, 4/20 is the release date.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it's not. They've had a couple where they went straight to Comedy Central or straight to DVD, like the Slammin' Salmon, and some of those movies where it's it's okay. But Super Troopers, I'm excited. Have there been any word on Weed Fest? Because they pitched it during the end of Beer Fest. Or
I
Pot
think
Fest.
now that they're done filming Super Troopers 2, I think they'll probably do Weed Fest. I think they want to see how well Super Troopers 2 does.
I mean,
then we'll see from there.
the thing is, it's got such a huge following, so hopefully, I think the first week it's going to be huge because people have been waiting for this movie for a long time because it's been a long time since Super Troopers 1. I mean,
Yeah, 16 years.
so I mean, hopefully it's not like Dumb and Dumber and Dumb and Dumber 2.
And fucking Anchorman
2, Zoolander 2. I think it's a whole different. I think it's going to be a whole different monster because those guys, I mean, those guys are just good all the way around. And
I want to see Weed Fest.
or I think it's Plot Fest or something like that. But I mean, that was a good pitch for it at the end of Beer Fest.
Oh yeah.
So, and I just watched Beer Fest last week. I mean, one of my favorite movies still. Just, it might not be winning an Oscar or an Academy Award.
I think it should.
I think it should.
The ones that do win are retarded.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't pay money to go watch the ones that won. That's not my style movie. I like a movie that's got some humor, adult humor, and just makes me laugh. And Beer Fest always makes me laugh. Doesn't matter.
You do laugh at farts.
I laugh at a lot of shit, but Beer Fest is one of those movies where like I can watch it once a week, and I still find something funny about it. That's how it is.
I mean, it's just such great comedy.
Yeah.
Good comedy movie, good performances. I actually watched the live performers. I'm thinking of the name. Kevin Heffernan, and Steve Lemming on Netflix. The two main, the little guy and the fat guy or whatever. They're stand up.
Fat
Oh my
man.
Yeah. Oh my
You can't use
god.
that word.
I love that special.
I thought what was great about it is they did the beer chug to figure out who
Oh,
was
yeah.
going to go first.
Oh, they did the beer chug, and then they were just making. I mean, they were playing off the crowd really well, and then the fact that they were doing all the kind of the behind the scenes of Super Troopers, or like the stories of how it got trashed on, and then like it's something you got to watch if you're a fan of Super Troopers, and you want to see kind of how it was formed. Because I actually looked up the movie they did, their original movie, which I'm trying to remember the name. It might be on DVD now, but it was like they made a college frat movie that led into Super Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember what the name is. It was something weird.
Oh, and they talk about Beer Fest too, I believe.
Oh yeah. They talked about. I mean, those were the big movies from Broken Lizard, or Beer Fest, where Super Troopers. I mean, the first movie was it was interesting because it's weird to see them when they're like in their early 20s.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie. They're in college. It's a frat movie, and they're on a rugby team. Out of all the sports, they're rugby players.
I think I've seen that. Yeah, I
can't remember. It
sounded familiar.
I can't remember the name either.
I'm gonna look it up because it was something. I thought it was something donkey or no, it was something. I'm gonna look it up here.
Since you said rugby, I'm like, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Because it was. I mean, it was it was. It's funny because they're all like they have these like pump up speeches, and Kevin Heffernan, his character, is like, "Don't they always kick our ass? Fuck that! We're gonna kill them this week. Oh yeah!" And they always get their asses handed to them. I mean, it's a weird movie. Actually, here is. I think this is what you were talking about because they just had Steve Lemmy. Oh, he didn't really put anything. I think that's what you were talking about is what they just announced on Google.
Oh, wasn't that Puddle Cruiser?
Puddle Cruiser. That's what it was. And I
really liked how they locked.
I think it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube, but it's actually a movie I think I'm gonna go back and try to find and watch because it definitely intrigued me a little bit to have them do like the party, like the frat party movie, and those guys. because that was the movie that they did on. They were talking about is that was like their independent film, their first film, and they had
Toga.
yeah, Animal House kind of esque.
Running.
They had major directors like Mike Judge. They were at this film festival down in Texas, and Mike Judge was there. Thinking of the guy who did Django Unchained. Quentin Tarantino was down there, and a couple other big name directors at the time. And they were telling about the story where Steve Lemmy went up and was acting like the busboy, and he screwed everybody because they were all pissed because they weren't gonna get. They were trying to get them to go to the movie or their showing, and he did something oh man, what was it? Anyways, I'm gonna butcher it if I try to say it. Go watch it. They explain it really well on their Netflix live thing. So go ahead and check that. But anyways, I think that'll do it for us here. We got the draft coming up next week, and we've got football. It's finally football time. So from Curran Holdman here and JT and JC over on the other end, you've been listening to the J2C show. We will be back next Friday for our live podcast NFL Draft Edition, which is going to be one you don't want to miss. Again, 14 teams. We're going to try to get some of the players on here on the podcast, so we'll have them doing their draft as they speak to us. And it's going to be interesting, and there's going to be a lot of trash talking, so you don't want to miss out on that one. So again, from Curran Holdman here, and JT and JC, we will see you guys next week.
Peace out, y'all.
See you guys.
Deuces.